we look at the Yankees throughout the year, and there have been variables, and guys have had good runs and bad runs, DL stints, no DL stints. But the one constant has been your captain of your team, Derek Jeter. He's 38 years old. Is it even amazing you what he's doing?
Absolutely. The amount of games that he's played, what he's playing through right now, and still finding a way to get big hits for us. You think about the big hit he had in Boston when we won that game. I think it was 2-0. One of the RBIs. It's remarkable because right now, I mean, he's running at 75% maybe, maybe even less than that, and he finds a way to get it done.
You've known him since he came up. He was a starting shortstop in '96. You were the starting catcher. And I'm sure you've always had an appreciation of him. This year, has that appreciation grown?
Yes, it has. I've always had so much respect for the way he goes about the game and the way he prepares and the way he's ready to go every day. But what he's done this year is even taken it up a notch for me. Because you're not supposed to play this much at 38 years old. You're not supposed to be able to find a way day after day physically to get it done. But he does, and I really believe it's because of his heart.
All right, so he leads the major leagues in hits by a lot, Joe. I guess if we're grading on a curve, it makes it even more amazing because he's 38, as you mentioned.
Yes.
I mean, when you're sitting down in the winter of 2011 looking to this season, are you penciling him for 200 hits?
Very few guys get 200 hits a year, so I figured that we would have to give him more days off, so it would have been a little bit difficult. But being able to DH him some helped. But still, he played a number of games in the field day after day after day and still found ways to get hits. And I mean, it's been a huge part of our success. So to say that I would have penciled in 200 hits, probably not.
All right, so on Friday, he actually passes Willie Mays on the all-time hits list. So he's in 10th place alone, which means if you really want to break it down, there are only 9 guys in the history of baseball, which started in the 1800s, that have had more hits than Derek Jeter. Talk about passing a guy like Willie Mays.
Wow, I said, you think about passing, I mean, that's a big name.
Yeah.
And I actually mentioned to Rob Thompson before the game, I said, he has a chance to get his 3,000th hit off of David Price and pass Willie Mays off of David Price. Now, this is not just some run-of-the-mill starter that you're facing. And you think about, you know, well, who'd you get your 3,000th hit off? David Price. Who'd you pass Willie Mays with? David Price. I mean, that's pretty amazing. And, you know, Willie Mays is one of the greatest players of all time. And Derek passed him. It just tells you what kind of player he is.
Don't you get the sense that if he passes Pete Rose, it'll be against David Price?
It could be. It's very possible because David Price will still be pitching.
All right, do you think his ankle is going to be okay at all this year, or is he going to play hurt the rest of the year?
I think it's possible that he's going to have to play hurt the rest of the year. I don't think that bone bruise is going to go completely away. Can it get better? Absolutely. And can we get him back in the field? Absolutely. But will it be 100%? I doubt it.
All right, so you've got Cabrera in Detroit. You've got Trout in L.A. Both of them are considered favorites for the MVP. There's a chance that both of those teams don't even make the playoffs. Your team, if it does make the playoffs, do you think that Derek Jeter is a legitimate candidate for MVP?
I do, because of what he's done this year and what he's meant to this club and how much he's played. I do.
So you don't have Derek in the field because of the ankle. You said you might put him back there by Tuesday. You've got Eduardo Nunez. Nunez kind of the lost man this year. You started him as a utility guy. He booted a lot of balls. You sent him down. He got hurt. Then he comes up. He's kind of the lost man again, but he's suddenly thrust in. He makes some nice plays in the field. He did make a big error on Friday. Then he gets a home run on Saturday. What kind of luxury is this kid for you?
Well, I think this kid could play an important role down the stretch. And, you know, when we talk about the error, yeah, I know it was an error that made the score 6-4, but we never got to 5.
Right.
So, I mean, would we have tied if he not made the error? Probably not. So, and I tried to, you know, let him know and tell people, let's not forget about the plays that you made, that not every shortstop's going to make. I mean, that's a luxury, too. I think this kid has a chance to really help us out down the stretch.
When he came off the field in the 9th inning on Friday after making that error, you walked the length of the dugout toward the outfield side just to talk with him.
Yeah.
What did you say, and why did you feel you needed to do that?
Just basically don't let it carry over. You know what? Let's not forget all the good that you've done in these 2 days. And that was the 3rd day, I think, the 3rd day he had played in a row. And I said, you can't forget that. I mean, you're making great plays, and you made an error. It's not going to be your last one. It's not your first one. Just move on. And he did a really good job of not letting it carry over to Saturday and having a big day.
And I also saw right before you came the length of the dugout, Jabba, who had given up that ground ball that would have ended the inning, grabs him around his head, and a lot of his team. He seems like everybody likes him.
Oh, we do. I mean, Nooney is just a wonderful kid, and he really cares. And what we don't want is him to get down on himself again, because that's not going to help him, and it's not going to help us. And I give our guys a lot of credit because the emotional support that they gave him.
All right, guy who's helped the Yankees a lot since he came off the DL is Alex Rodriguez, and he had a really long home run on Friday, then a big RBI to extend your lead on Saturday. It looks like he's getting close to being Alex.
Yeah, he has swung the bat extremely well since he's come back, and we really didn't know what to expect because he didn't get a ton of at-bats. And as I said, he could either struggle or he could just be really, really good. You never know what's going to happen. I mean, Alex is a professional. He's been playing a long time. He knows how to get ready, and he's been great for us.